Hi, today I'm going to react to Chicago, the band. It used to be called the Chicago Transit Authority. I've listened to a few things by them. I listened to the Girl from Buchanan Suite, the recorded version, and then I listened to Tanglewood 25 or 6 to 4 and the introduction from their first album, Chicago 1. All those are available on my playlist, whatever. I have like a playlist on my channel. But today I want to actually react to the beginning of the Tanglewood concert because everyone keeps telling me this is like one of the best concerts of all time. And then I also found out that there was this guy named Terry Kath, and he was like their guitarist, and he died really young. And it was like kind of tragic. And like he may have been like the best guitarist of all time, even like better than like Jimi Hendrix and stuff. And that's kind of sad, and 1970 seems cool. My parents were just starting high school in 1970, I think, because they graduated high school in 74. So just to put it in context of me, because I'm always like, how do I relate to 1970? I wasn't born yet. So my parents were just entering high school in 1970. And so I'm sure Chicago was popular, maybe. I liked what I've heard so far. There's a lot of horns, really cool, eclectic, just all styles, kind of not just some basic rock and roll or something. Like it's like a very interesting, jazzy, fusion-y. I don't even know how to describe it. All right, let me react.
Big, beautiful sound out of the Windy City, Chicago.
something new. Coming back just for you. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, that was so good. First of all, I heard that before. A few months ago, I did an introduction. I told you guys that. I didn't know it was called In the Country as well. So I'd heard it before, which is so nice because I never forget a song. I want you guys to know. One of the reasons I purposely don't listen to things outside of my wheelhouse is because once I've heard a song, it's in my mind. I have a very musical memory. Like I remember like so many of the pitches. I remember the tempo changes. I remember that like there's horn sections and then like I kind of know how it's going to go because I've heard it once. That's how good my musical brain is. So I was like, oh yeah, I like this one because I've heard it before. So I knew what to expect. So like all the changes weren't shocking to me. But what I want to say is that they are so talented because they are playing live, you know, like, and I heard the studio version. I'm thinking like, okay, studio, they might have to like, I mean, maybe they did it in one take. Cause like, clearly they're so good now. That's possible. The studio, they just literally recorded it in one take cause they clearly can. The trumpet tone was so pure. That's what I was like when the trumpet played, I was like, wow, that is like a really good trumpet player. The tone of that trumpet was so clear. And then yeah, I like the fact that it's like do 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 do. You have the like repeating brass riff. It's just kind of nice, that big band vibe. And then when it came back to the more rock section and like I think that's Terry Kath for sure because he's playing the guitar so well. And he just starts playing and it's like one of the most beautiful things you've ever heard. It's like directly from God, you know, like it's like heaven. He's like so locked into the universe at that moment and he just like delivers the most beautiful thing. And it's so virtuosic and it's so epic. And then the drummer goes and the drummer's like the most insane thing. And then they pick up the back to tempo one. It's like called all tempo and like they're just like running like a bat out of hell. It's like the fastest thing you've ever heard, but they're like all together and it's like so beautiful. And then I was just thinking about the fact that, you know, a lot of the stuff from earlier, like 1970, even around this era, they didn't always have good recording equipment. Because I've heard tapes from live performances that are like pretty bad with like feedback and this, I guess maybe because it's the Tanglewood Festival, I'm guessing. Because I know the Tanglewood Festival because my friends, you know, I'm an opera singer trained, and a lot of my opera friends would go to do the Tanglewood Festival. And they would put on operas and musicals and stuff like that. So I'm guessing that's what it is. And so maybe they have a bunch of musical acts, and so therefore they had proper recording equipment. And so then also it's in color. I mean, I know maybe I sound like dumb because I'm like some millennial who's like, what do you mean they had color TV back then? But I thought like a lot of people didn't even have, wasn't it like 1968 and the moon landing and like people didn't even have color TVs then and they saw it in black and white, like, right? So I'm like 1970 color recording with this beautiful audio. What a treat to have this. It's like this archival thing. It's like I can be part of even though it was happened before I was alive. And that's such a good song anyway. I mean, I loved that when I first heard the introduction. I was like, oh yeah, this band is good. They totally tear it up, you know? To hear it just to open their set like that. I mean, what a strong way to start a set. So as I said earlier, I reacted to the 24 6 to 4, which is over here. And then obviously there's like this whole concert and I'm sure everything's epic. Oh yeah, I remember I did Color My World, Make Me Smile, the recorded version. I've done the Ballet for Buchanan recorded version, album version. Oh, Bill Graham, that's so cool. He was involved with that. I just know that he has a venue in San Francisco named after him. So it's hard for me to even understand the impact of Bill Graham. I just keep hearing his name like, oh, he produced this and that and whatever. So I'm guessing he must have done a lot for music at the time. And that's pretty cool too, because someone had to put this all on, right? So wow, I want to watch this all in pieces. You know, I like to go in small pieces because I don't want to get distracted. I do have ADHD, and if I was to just sit here for an hour and a half, I'm going to start to get antsy if I don't jump and do jumping jacks once in a while, you know? That's why, guys, I like to type, is because it gives my hands something to do for when I'm feeling fidgety and I feel like I can't sit still. So, like, that's why I sometimes play with my dolls. Like, it's very hard for me to just sit and listen. So for those of you who've been, like, upset, like, you're not paying attention or this or that, like, it's very hurtful, actually. Like, I'm neurodiverse. Like, I've never been like everybody else. I've been daydreaming since I was a child, but like I said, I have this like crazy thing with music where like I can hear it and I don't have to be looking at it, if that makes sense. Like, I'm a piano teacher. Sometimes I walk and make a coffee in the other room while my student's playing, and literally from like the next room, I'm like, that note was wrong. Like, I'm literally like so astute to music that I don't have to be looking at it, if that makes sense. Just so you guys know, it's like all absorbing in. It's kind of like an experience. And that's why when I was saying earlier about the blues, and you guys are like, how could you not like the blues? I can't take your opinion on anything. If you watch my Jay Gales reaction video, it's a reaction throughout my whole body. Like, my body literally, because I don't know if you've ever like studied any therapy, but sometimes they're like, you need to connect the emotion to the feeling you feel in your body. And what I was explaining with slow blues is that my body starts to like tighten up. My chest gets really tight, and like my whole body starts to feel like very like depressed. And so it just brings down my whole spirit. So that's all. Like, I can appreciate it as an art form. Like, okay, the 12-barred blues, blah, blah, blah. And like, I know when they put blues elements into the Beatles songs, I don't hate all the songs. I don't hate every Beatles song that uses the blues. You know what I mean? And I'm in the Dead cover band, and they use a lot of blues too. I don't hate all of that. But it can, depending on the song, it can literally give me a physical reaction in my body. And so I'm just trying to be true to myself. I'm just really in tune to my emotions. I'm very sensitive. So I'm not like every reactor who's just like pretends that they love something by the end of the time they hear it. I'm trying to be really true and authentic to how I feel. So if something makes me feel uncomfortable or makes me feel really like bad, I don't want to keep listening to it. You know, like, I mean, it just makes me feel like sick. Seriously. And it's not, and I don't want it to be. Do you think I want to feel sick? No. I want to be able to enjoy all music, right? But look, some people hate country music, right? I don't hate country music. You know, some of it's kind of twangy and like, it depends on the type of country. I like some country better than others, but like, I can listen to country. Some people hate country, right? So I think it's okay that I can say I don't like the blues, and it doesn't like disqualify me for reacting to rock. You know, like, I understand when blues progressions happen in rock, and I go, okay. But again, fast blues, that's more rockish, tends to be better, but I don't like when it's like screaming, singing, like that kind of blues. But if slow blues, I just get like zoned out. I'm just like, oh my God, 12-bar progression. Like, I can't, you know? But this has nothing to do with blues. Although what I was trying to say about this song is that it's so creative. It's like composed like a symphony, honestly. It's like, there's sections, you know what I mean? Like, it's not, there's like different sections that are like very colorful in different ways. So it's like pieced together in like a very unique way. And someone mentioned in that video where I reacted to this that he had it all in his head, and he just like told someone about it, and then they helped him put it into music because he didn't know how to write music notes. So like, that's just fascinating that like you just kind of have that in your mind, and then you piece that all together. Like, this was the slow trumpet solo part, and it was so touching. It's like a little ballad in the middle of this fun chaos, right? And then like slow ballad, and then it like comes back to like really I like the part that's like dun 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 dun. I like that part because it's like a weird rhythm, and it's like very cool. And again, I just think it's good. Okay, like, what can I say? I liked this, and they're so good, and it's so cool. I get to see them live, and they're so young, and they have so much like. I love watching young people because young people have hope for the future, right? And so when you see them perform, you're like, they're in the moment, and they're like, this is it. Like, we're here, we're living in the moment. We're like, it's only going up from here, right? And I think sometimes when you turn over the corner, it's like, okay, like, I'm headed down, everything's difficult now, and you can become kind of Karen-ish, you know, Karen and whatever the male Karens are called. Sometimes I get some of y'all on my page, and it must be sad to be grumpy all the time, but I don't know why. Just like, some people get grumpy, and I don't like it. So that was great. I will slowly piece together this whole concert over time. I'll try to fit it in with my other bands that I'm reacting to. I try to give it an eclectic mix. I have to do some Warning, some Beatles, some Grateful Dead, some this, whatever, random Steely Dan, like put in something new. Like I have to kind of be all over the place. But if you do want to request something, just go to my form, which the link's at the top of my YouTube page. It's like Linktree, and then just fill out my request form, and that's the best way to tell me what you want me to listen to. Because if it gets in my comments, it's very likely lost. Because I sometimes get hundreds of comments a day, and I try to respond and like them all to show that I've read it, but I can't always. And even if you did and I did like it, put it in the request form anyway, because I may have read the song title and then I forget about it because I'm doing so many things. Teaching piano, teaching singing, teaching fitness classes, being a mom. And then I have to, not only is my YouTube channel, I have an Instagram, I have a TikTok, I have like so many other social medias and stuff that I'm doing. So it's a lot. So I thank you for being part of my experience and like sharing this music with me. And I wish you a wonderful day. And let us go in peace. Okay, bye.